This week on Dear Rabbi. Some Jews seem to have an issue with the concept of Jews being spoken of as the chosen people. They feel it confers some type of exalted privilege that we do not deserve, and that this is exclusionary, divisive, and fosters antisemitism. What is your answer to this criticism? Is the idea of Jewish chosenness divisive, exclusionary, and does it foster anti-Semitism? Before we begin to tackle the topic, let's look at the alternative. Christians believe that if you do not accept Jesus as your Savior, you are damned to hell. You need to be saved. Muslims believe if you don't accept Muhammad as your prophet, once again, damned to hell. What do Jews believe? We believe that even if you do not accept the tenets of Judaism, even if you are not Jewish, you can still be a good person and earn your share in the world to come. That's why Jews do not proselytize. We don't go out trying to get new recruits to Judaism. In fact, if somebody comes and tries to convert, we try to dissuade them and tell them it's probably not a good idea. Unlike other religions, our calendar does not begin with the birth of a prominent Jewish figure. It begins with the birth of humanity, the birth of Adam, the first man, who obviously was not a Jew. In fact, at that point in the story, there wasn't even supposed to be a Jewish people. If you look at the historic timeline as the Bible lays it out, God creates Adam, and he has sons. And 10 generations from Adam all the way to Noah, every generation gets more and more and more corrupt, until Noah comes on the scene, and Noah is righteous in his generation. But then once again, after the great flood, Noah begins the whole world over again, and corruption after corruption after corruption, until 10 generations later, Abraham comes on the scene. And Avraham Ivri is called Abraham the Ivri because Ivri means on the other side. There was Abraham against the world. Everyone else was corrupt. But Abraham has a son named Isaac. And Isaac has a son named Jacob. And Jacob, for the first time, has 12 sons who are all in line with the values and beliefs of their father. That's where the Jewish people come from. They come from generation after generation of trying to perfect the world, until God says, I am going to have a group of people, as Ken Spiro calls them, the God Squad. People who are going to be my PR firm, an example of what it's like to live in this world as a godly human being. And when people see these people, they will see what it means to live a godly existence. They will be my example. The definition of chosen is having been selected as the best or most appropriate. That is certainly not the way I would describe the concept of the Am HaNivchar, the idea of the Jews being the chosen people. It doesn't mean that we're better than anybody else. What it means is that we have been given a responsibility that no one else was given. But is that exclusionary? Not necessarily. Because anybody who wants to join, anybody who wants to take upon themselves that responsibility is welcome to. And when they do, they are a full-fledged member of the Jewish people. In fact, throughout our history, some of the greatest contributors to the Jewish people were Jews of choice. There's a poem that goes, "How odd of God to choose the Jews. It's not so odd. The Jews chose God." You see, the concept of Jewish chosenness is not necessarily that God chose us, but that through the choices that our parents made, the choices of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and his sons, we chose to have a relationship with God. And in turn, God sealed a covenant with us to tell us that we will be an eternal people. We'll be here forever no matter what the world tries to throw at us. We will be here to be a light unto the nations, to be an example of what it means to live a godly existence.